It's not working. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell in your ears. Wired mic.
That could be it. I didn't have the sound on. All right, we are ready. Okay, so thank everybody for coming.
It's too loud.
Too loud. Okay. Is this better? Okay, we're not trying to blast anybody's ears, just be heard. So thank you everybody for coming, and we wanted to do something. It is Women's History Month. And so we wanted to bring a panel of women, and we have multiple generations here, and just find what are the commonalities of things that women have put up with, have to deal with, have experiences. What are the commonalities that women have had to deal with since all the way down, and what are the things that they feel were important in their lives, and also maybe at the very end, how can we help to support each other so that future generations are going to have a much cleaner, clearer, and way to move forward. So that's what we're going to do. So first, I just want to welcome the panelists. And maybe if everybody can start with Caroline and just hold it and just say, what is your name, your age, and your generation?
My name's Caroline. I'm 26, and I think I'm Gen Z.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I'm Gen Z.
All right. It's just a number. We love everybody. Yes.
My name is Melody Velez. I am 47, and can you hear me now? My name is Melody Velez. I'm 47, and I'm the Community Engagement Director here at RSS, and I do not know
What's 40? Yeah. I'll have to look that up.
You're the cusp of Gen X and Millennial. You're the
cusp of the Gen X and Millennial.
Sweet, see?
Oh, so you get to pick which one you like best. All right.
Look at this. I hope I know how to use it.
Just set up to your mouth and talk.
Can you hear me?
No.
I'll turn it up so this way you can be heard a little better. Oh, you do. Oh, I beg to differ.
I've never even seen one of these before.
That's right.
We know what generations are.
That's for sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I'm good. My name is Gail Edwards. I'm not telling my age because I'm too young. Yeah.
Oh, Howard.
Yeah. I'm 66. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
Okay. And I come to the RSC Center on the board.
And what's your generation?
I have no idea.
You're a baby boomer.
I'm a baby
boomer. You're my boomer. Thank you. Yeah, with me. I'm only a year older, so we're boomers.
Okay, so thank you.
Yes, we're the youngest. We're the babies.
Hi, I'm Rhea Barity. I'm 70 and I'm definitely a big book.
Hi everyone, my name is Vera.
Go ahead.
My age is 91.
Woo!
I'm not a baby boomer, that's for sure.
You know which generation? You're the silent generation.
The silent.
War baby.
The war babies was
The
World
war-
War II.
All right.
Silent generation.
Okay.
So, all right. So we're gonna start here. This way I have to yell. So it's somewhere down here. We'll find it. Otherwise, we'll get you when you're done. Okay. So we're gonna start with the questions. What? And anybody can answer. What do you remember in history that you notice is changing or has changed for women? For example, when I was younger, I remember being told that I couldn't have gotten a credit card if I were old enough without having a man sign with me. So can anybody else think of anything that maybe has changed?
When we got a credit card for my daughter, it didn't matter who did it.
Right, that changed in the 70s.
Oh, you mean,
We're talking about in the past, yes. When I was told when I was younger that I could not have gotten a credit card if I were old enough unless my father or somebody signed for me, which obviously women do not have to have somebody to sign for them. So anything else? Anybody else can think of anything?
Not for the panel or for?
But, well, it could be for the panel, but if anybody else, we just have to speak loud enough and I will, I'll just read.
We couldn't wear pants
You could,
back in the day.
in school.
Slacks.
We could not wear pants in school. That's right. I remember signing a petition in fourth grade, trying to figure out why it is that we had to freeze our legs off and the boys didn't have to. Yeah, go ahead. You have a mic on you.
I remember Title IX when it came into being. Before that, girls' sports were not funded. And I don't remember having girls' teams when I was in school. Now girls are in lots of teams, especially like basketball. Basketball.
Yes. So I remember taking basketball when I was in elementary school. They had the dumbest rules for the girls where you had like 4 people on the court and then everybody else was lined up on the sidelines and you pass to the person, you have to pass it down. That was probably something my gym teacher decided was a good idea because we obviously were not capable of running up and down the courts. So that was one thing I do remember.
I think the one thing I remember, I was pretty young.
That's the mic.
Sorry.
People online, whoever's online, hear you.
Okay, what I'm gonna say is, and this goes way, way back,
Mhm.
and I don't know how old I was, but I was young enough where the girls were separated from the boys, particularly when we had to do, now I can't think of those things that we used to do back then. The guys would have the mechanics, they would have all of the things that,
Yes.
like for boys and
Right, they had shop,
that same,
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
Wood
We didn't
shop.
have that. What, exactly.
shop, oh, yeah, so
We had
you
sewing.
had to do sewing and home ec.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think my class in my high school was the first where the girls and our shop teacher actually tried to encourage the girls to take shop class.
Right.
And one of the boys got the award for home ec because he was for cooking.
That's great.
For cooking, but that was for Cresthill High School in New Jersey, but that was one of the first. Go ahead.
Women weren't allowed to run a marathon. So it was believed that their bladder would fall out.
Oh, no.
But
Yeah, so you believe that women could not run a marathon because they believe bladder would fall out. That's,
did it had a dress like a hot.
yeah. In the Boston Marathon, I think the first woman had to dress like a man and pretend yeah. And I think there were some men that actually went with her just to keep, because people were harassing her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had dependent,
they had to pen that.
if they did have it at that time, we had saved the gas. Because then the women would have put it on and it.
And they said, oh, it doesn't matter. That's right. So, yes, so,
We've come a long way, baby.
we still have a ways to go, but yes, we have come further.
From our generation to yours, not much has changed. I feel like we kind of went backwards a little bit.
I think we're, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
like we are going.
that's why I have a hard time coming up with something that would be, substantial to really discuss, because I feel like when I was growing up, women had a lot more privileges than they did, back then, but I feel like that's all being reversed again.
That's starting to, yeah, I'm concerned for, Yeah, I'm actually glad I have a grandson, because I hate to see I hate to see what's gonna happen with girls sometimes. I hate to say that, but it is true. So as the Gen Z, do you feel that probably more than anybody else, or?
Well, I don't feel any changes because it's all I've ever known, I feel like. But especially like hearing about school back in the day, I can't imagine being like separated from the boys or even doing gym class separately or something like that. Like that seems so different, but it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Like,
But if you went to Rutgers through Catholic school, you had the boys.
Right.
oh yeah.
Parochial school, yeah, Catholic school, so, but I remember we changed that in high school where we kept, or I think in elementary school, the boys and the girls together. But by that point, the girls were not up to speed, so we're trying to do sports and the boys are giving us a hard time because we just, we weren't taught to compete. The only time we could compete was dance. I had the one person in dance who could actually have rhythm and didn't step on my feet. And gymnastics. Those are the only two things that we could compete with. So it was ridiculous. So Yes.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting, talking about this, because my husband worked for aviation high school. He was a guidance scout. So everybody, this is the 70s, maybe mid-70s, something like that. And they were all boys. So then one girl applied, Lori Johnson, and my husband went through, and she qualified for the school. So the principal then, Mr. Frontario, said, well, Tony, there is no girls in the schools. We can't. So Tony said, my husband said, well, can we give this girl a chance? And then if she doesn't, apply herself, or we see that she doesn't do well in 6 months, well, she's the one that started. And now it's boys and girls.
Yeah.
And she has a big job with the airline. I don't know what she does, but now this is, she graduated in 76, 70.
Right.
So she's
Yeah,
another
good for her.
It's a grandmother.
Can I say
Okay,
something?
so why don't we go to a different next question?
No? Okay.
Growing up, what things were you told to believe as, listen, I wrote this really bad. Sideways.
We told them.
Oh, that's right. She's lying to me that I wrote it. It's all my fault. Oh, okay. Growing up, what things were you told to believe as a woman in terms of behavior and expectations? And as you got older, were some of the things you agreed or disagreed with those expectations? So what were kind of the things you were told to believe your expectations were growing up?
Secretary.
Yeah, secretary, right? That was like a highlight of how hands to camera hands to listeners. Oh, yeah, no, that we, yes, so I remember, like I said, the petitioning in 4th grade to get to wear pants. So anything else, but have a behavior.
Well, just respect your elders, that's one thing.
Right, respect your elders, yeah, but have to be proper. Yes, you weren't supposed to be a boy,
Curse, you can't.
can't curse.
I still have those people who did it. You still have those folks who would still do it anyway.
They were tomboys. Yes.
I could not be a tomboy.
You could not be a tomboy. Right, right. So, but let's get always with the dresses. Right? You weren't supposed to stand out too much. Be nice. Don't argue, kind of in the background. And that's when, you were interrupted a lot.
Put your slippers on and stay pregnant.
Put your slipper on.
Now, so cultural, I don't know if it's cultural, but
Right.
I know my mother was from Puerto Rico and didn't have a lot of education, but it was always the guys could stay out late. And the girls had to come home early.
Right.
And, we had certain jobs and girls had certain jobs and guys had certain jobs and, it was like 7 guys for 1 woman.
Right.
Like, these were from home, not social things, but.
But that spreads into social
Yes.
things, is that kind of thing where, yeah, I remember you couldn't go out because you were worried about,
Getting pregnant.
getting hurt or something. Yeah, right, exactly. Right.
In the culture that I grew up in, you had, as a female, you had to learn the finery of the things that was supposed to be for women. So you had to learn how to take care of the home. You had to know how to really cook and entertain, always be prepared and just always look your proper best.
So you always had to look
Must
good, you
always-
always had to be prepared for people, you always had to be welcome and smiling,
That,
right?
that you couldn't leave the home
Right.
and just go anyway, because you must always keep to the back of your head. You're gonna run into an important person and then you don't want to be, oh gosh, I gotta hide my face because I'm not ready. So
you always had to be always
Yes.
ready and dressed your best
Yeah.
and everything, because
Yes,
that was that same type of thing.
that's the culture I grew
But
up.
how about the men?
Well, the men, you were responsible, you were the person responsible for taking care of everybody.
But then they had
You
to
are not
present
doing a female-
themselves.
You are not doing a female stuff
Right.
Your needs
So the
always be
chores
strong
were,
and
right.
ready.
but were you also the expectation of how to look? As
And
men?
the man had to always also. If you don't-
Okay, so there is, okay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
My mom got fired 2001 because she was pregnant.
Wow, so somebody was saying, what kind of job did she have? That she was fired
A
from?
medical facility. Like,
But they-
the expectation.
The expectation was that,
We're not, you know, preferably.
wow, so she was fired for getting pregnant.
They tell her she was fired because she was pregnant, or did they make an excuse about
I
something?
don't even know. I was like,
Probably.
I remember. Like she was trying to hide, just I don't know how to do it, whatever. And
Yeah.
it was real.
Yeah. Wow. So anyway, yeah, Rhea.
There were expectations that men would make more money than women. And it was, I remember when I first started working, men got hired and paid more than they.
Right, for the same job.
With the same
For the
job.
same job.
Right, same job.
And the excuse was the women didn't have to pay for a family because they're apparently,
They weren't breadwinner.
they weren't the breadwinner, so,
Cultures and together.
right.
I want to say, this is gonna sound the opposite. When I grew up, we had, oh, I keep doing this. When I grew up, we had women or young girls got pregnant. And for some of that results, and it would, make sure I say this correct. The young lady would be with her boyfriend or who he was, and it's clear she's pregnant, and then this happened more than once. This young lady would get beat in public. Right? Because she got pregnant. So when I'm thinking about kind of what everybody's saying, for me in my neighborhood, that went both ways. And you had a lot of people that were pregnant, a lot of stuff was going on. But it's different from kind of how the world was really on at that time.
They got
Sorry for that.
They got beaten by who?
Their parents.
Their
Their parents.
Just the girls? Just the girls?
No,
or
the boys.
Well, the boys too.
And the boys
did not.
would be with the girls as they're walking through this like what kind of walk of shame.
Yeah.
And the girls getting beat by the mother. The father's not saying anything. And this went on. She had 4 babies, but that was the pattern. Got pregnant, you were gonna get it, and it was gonna be done in front of everybody. I remember that.
Yeah.
It's very well. I don't know why. Anyway, that's it. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, anything else? Yeah, go ahead, Kalu.
What I remember in my growing up, if you got pregnant, going to school. If you got pregnant, you did not go to regular school anymore. You had to go to night school.
That
Oh,
was true.
yeah.
You couldn't come to the regular class that I'm in. Cause that was a walk of shame. So you went to night school.
Right.
So when you look around and you didn't see anybody, that was what went to you, right? You didn't see the classmate anymore.
Right.
Even though you're young, but you said, if that person going to night school, they gotta be pregnant. Because night school was for the adult, older people.
Right.
But then if you're a teenager, you got pregnant, you could not, no matter who you were, you were not gonna.
So you were not allowed to be pregnant in school, you had
Go
to
to night school.
go to night school.
Yeah.
At least they had an alternative.
Right, you did not come to the regular school.
Right.
The mass.
That's true.
Wow, so that's, okay, what would you advise your younger self and how to refrain from those expectations? And what are some of the things you agreed with or disagreed with? And what would you tell your younger self to maybe do things a little differently? Or meet those expectations a little differently? Anybody? I'm trying to, is there anything you would do differently if you were to talk to your younger self? Is there anything you would tell them to do differently in terms of some of the expectations that you felt? Even if they were sort of unspoken expectations?
I think I would just say to be more confident in myself so that I can speak up against things I didn't.
Yes.
Because I was very, sorry. I was just saying that, I think I would tell my younger self to be more confident and speak up against things that she felt was, not the norm for her. So I think, as a child, I probably let a lot of things slide and just went with the flow, and I would tell her to not do that. Just speak up.
Okay, anybody else? Carolyn, do you have anything, or do you feel like you're a little out of the
She's still young.
I know, I feel like I should be looking. I feel like this panel's for me.
No, but you gotta share your experience.
It's what? Beauty and body image, that's always a biggie, so I'm sure that's something you know. How have the rules of how a woman should look changed? So do you
Yeah.
feel like body image is still an issue, and in what way? You know, you started off with girdles, you've got, now filters for filters on social media that you have to look perfect. I mean, come on, and what are the what you call it, that people are wearing, tell me they're not girdles, it's just a nicer name for them. Oh, Spanx, shapewear, like that's not a girdle, right? It's not a girdle, it's a shapewear.
Well, what is that?
It's the same thing. It's a girdle. Girdle for different parts of the body.
Yeah. Sorry, I tried them and too tight, and you're just gonna have to look at my rolls.
I notice when I watch like local news, you see how the news anchors dress sometimes. It's like, to me, it's so ridiculous. Ridiculous the way the female news anchors dress. They wear like lots of cleavage, tight dresses, and lots of Spanx, because no one has figures like that.
What?
Oh, a lot of chaps.
Everybody's wearing Spanx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that the expectation, I'm surprised, because I think there was a period of time when women were going overboard and just wearing suits and frilly collars and trying to look pretty neutral. And now all of a sudden they're looking like they're going to the nightclub.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah.
I mean, but do you feel personally that there is sort of pressure to, oh, yes. Did you feel that when you were younger? No. So, I mean, how do you feel?
Well, I see a difference between like myself, I'm 26, and my cousin Emma, who's 15. And so, like, as I was growing up, like from like probably 10 to 20, social media was becoming what it is now. But nowadays, if you're young and you're online, you're seeing like every adult, everyone as adults. And then even like shopping with her, she doesn't realize that like the clothing she's drawn to is very not age appropriate, because you're just trying to be like what you see. And what you're seeing is a little crazy, and you're not really exposed to things like, oh, you're old enough to watch that show now, or oh, you can see everything at once.
Yeah.
So you don't really grow up, and I feel like that's sad to see.
Yeah, it's trying to be too
I
grown up.
agree with what you're saying,
Yeah.
because my granddaughter is 12 and she already has the fake nails. So what's gonna be at one time, well, that's okay, that's all I'm saying, I agree.
Right.
I just want to say that I am very, very pleased the way I look,
Yeah.
the way I feel. Of course, I'm not younger, but as far as I'm concerned, I am younger. The way I think, the things I do,
Absolutely.
and even though when I grew up, I went to school with Diane Carroll. She was in my class. Diana Sands. We all met in the third grade because she was my voice. And they were always, the pretty little girls coming to school and whatever. And whenever they would have a play, Diane Carroll always got the leading part, and also Diana Sands. Me, they gave the dancing part too. I didn't mind. But even though I grew up with these ladies in Sidney Poitier, I grew up with all of them. I didn't feel that I needed, or jealous of them, I would say. I was kind of happy that I was in the same class with them.
Yeah.
And even though they got the leading part and they became very famous, it didn't bother me.
That's right.
Why? Because I am who I am, and I am who I want to be.
Barbara,
Yes, go ahead, Deborah.
I grew up 12 years at Catholic school. Unfortunately, I'm so down to college criminal justice. And that's the whole goal for me, was men and women, plus, you know, twice a day to accommodate cops and fire.
Right.
Just eye-opening for me, so it's really,
So did you find out the Catholic school, was that all girls?
yes.
Girls' school. So for you to go to a school that was men and women together, did you feel that the classes and the behavior of your classmates were different towards you than what you were used to?
When I was in college,
Yeah, when you're John Jay.
yeah, it was a whole new world.
So in what way did you feel you were treated differently?
I was asked to do social things.
Okay.
People I didn't know, and stay in the city, not go home all the time.
Right.
It was, okay.
Well, that's good. That's good. So, okay, so, let's see. Okay, at this chapter of your life, and could be for any time, you know, I always like the age I'm at. What is important to you and what are your current priorities?
Anybody want to start? Go ahead. I guess for me now, almost reaching 50, I'm thinking about, you know, how I'm gonna set my kids up so that they're okay. Thinking about life insurance, you know, like the things you think about as you get older. So I think that's kind of where my brain is now, like just preparing so my family's okay, you know, the older I get. Sickness, medical, anything can happen. So I think that's pretty much my focus right now, is my family.
Go ahead, Carolyn, you want to go? And then Vera second?
Yeah, I'll go. Like we don't choose when we're born, so I do think I'm very, very lucky to be born now. I'm 26 and I love my job. I like me and my friends, all we do is like hang out and run around the city. And we have fun apartments and we're making real money and have real jobs and can spend it how we want. I don't have a boyfriend and I'm not like even really thinking about it. I know in the future, but like again, I'm very lucky that I can just like make my own money, live alone, swipe my credit card as much as I do, and just be able to like be independent.
Freedom.
Yeah. It's good.
And I think a lot of people at your age are really not looking to get married so fast. I think that's great. You know, as opposed to, you know, it was kind of expected that you graduated college and you got married. You went to school to meet a husband.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's very different. I envy you.
I think that's one of the,
That's a big way to change.
because women are so rare, right? And they're not looking for a man to
Right.
fulfill.
That's the big complaint you're getting now from
Yeah.
some of these guys.
And I will say, like, my girlfriends and my guy friends, yes, my girlfriends, because we're more responsible, we've gotten a little better jobs and made a little bit more money. And our guy friends are addicted to sports betting. And it's like, oh, funny, now where's the money going? Who's investing their money years from now? Who's gonna have saved it and who has purchasing power? And like it's gonna be young women.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so. So how about everybody down there? What do you?
I just want to say that I'm very happy with my life now. Very. Forget about age. Age is a number.
That's
It's how
right.
you feel.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm 91 going on 92 in about 3 months. Right now. Listen, all I can say is my life has been a good life.
Yes.
I'm a world traveler. And I just like everything about me.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
That's right.
Having had a recent health crisis, I realized how important friends are. And they showed up for me, and I think right now, the most important thing to me is my friends and showing up for my friends.
Somebody. Gigi's in the office. Comment.
She's hitting in there. The only thing that I would say is that I retired. And for me, that was probably like the best thing I could have ever done. When I retired last year. And I can travel now, I can go where I wanna go, I can stay for how long I wanna go, I can come home when I wanna come home. So there are all these things that I can now do that I couldn't do when I was fully working. And I can wake up at 1 a.m. in the morning, like my whole life has changed versus what it used to look like when I had to go to work every single solitary day, which I hated, but I made it good.
You did?
Yeah.
And you're on the other side and enjoy it.
That's right.
So
That's why she looks so much more relaxed than us.
So what would you, because I'm looking at some of this, let's see, wisdom exchange. Looking at the priorities of the 26 show, does that remind you of your younger self? Do you wish you had those priorities back then? So Vera, you guys, you're looking at,
Some of the things.
at so Caroline's, are those some of the priorities you wish you had when you were younger?
What priorities
you missing?
Yeah, just use the example there.
Yeah, all right, let's see.
Well,
It's okay, Bob. I'm looking at these.
Yeah.
These questions made sense when we came up with them, and that's okay. Stop. I'm doing the best I can.
So
why, hanging out on those.
The pressures of like getting married, you
Do you
know.
feel like the priorities are different? Yes.
I mean, I'm a millennial and back then being 30 and single with no kids.
And Gigi shine nice.
In one moment. Yeah. So what I say, go ahead.
When we were going back to the history, I was surprised that no one mentioned about the first female not president, not yet, being elected and things. But I also feel like as a millennial back then, if you were like 30 and single, you will be extremely shamed, right? Or they will think like, that you're, I want to say bad, but like gay or something.
No, sure.
So, but then now there's like now statistically there are more single 30-year-olds who are not, their priority is not to have children. They're not, I hear a lot of older adults saying that they're grieving the fact that they might never be a grandparent because that is just not the priority now of like 30-year-olds. I have a lot of friends who are 30 and single than friends who are now with children and married. And the ones that are married with children said, I never thought at this point in my life I would feel so isolated. Like I don't have a lot of friends that have babies, right? It's just, but then back then, the ones that were the unicorns were the ones that were 30 and single. I think now also a big change I've noticed is that the breadwinner now is the woman in the house.
A lot of times, yeah.
A lot. So I think the good thing is that we're given more opportunity, right? Like there's more leadership. And women are occupying those positions. But then again, I'm not to bash men, okay? Oh, Michael, sorry. That is just, they're more, they're the breadwinners, but they're also expected to be the housewife and to go home and still be the one cooking and cleaning, but then also go to go out and work and still be the provider. So I think we still need to work on that.
Finding balance.
Yeah, like there has to be a balance or just respecting.
Prefer to work, stay at home. Well, I think they have more of those options.
Or just respecting what people want in their household. Like if the man prefers being at home, but the woman is like, I prefer being out, then they should just support each other with whatever needs.
Yep.
And I think now that has changed where men are in that role and they're supporting their wives or their girlfriends, right? And doing like, oh, I'll wash the dishes.
Right.
Like I'll make some
It's more equal.
Yeah, because I have a friend, like, I remember visiting her and her husband was the one doing the dishes, having a meal because she was just, she was having girl time with me. And I think before that wasn't seen as much.
Right.
So I think we should, continue finding that balance.
Yeah, I feel like that's becoming more.
That's my part.
Very good.
It is becoming more of a balance now because for myself, my husband is that way. We both work. But I do a little bit more work because I work here. I have another job after here and I have my own side projects that I do. So because he knows I'm so busy, he takes care of the household, even though he has a day job. He cooks. We share cooking sometimes, but he's the one cooking most of the time. he dyes my hair, like we do what we gotta do to just get through. And a lot of his friends do make fun of him for it, so that's like a stigma sometimes amongst men. But he doesn't care. He says it all the time. I'll do it, and that's it. And I think that there are more men starting to follow that trend to understand that it's not just the woman that's responsible for everything and that it's a partnership. And I think that trend is a good trend and it should continue going that way.
The idea of, and I remember reading an article about men who were staying at home when I was staying at home with my kids. And the idea is that they got an order, people would say, oh, are you babysitting today? And they're going, no, it's called being a father. It's called parenting, not babysitting.
I just want to say something on what she said. When I come out of excuse me. What you said to me that made me think about something. I live at 555 K-pop. The thing that always catches me now is I'm always surprised, and it's always a surprise when I see men with their babies.
Yes.
I don't know why. I want to make sure that's right. There's so many more men that I see that are taking much more active roles.
Yes.
Exactly. That's all I have to say. 'Cause every time I look, I go, oh, there's another one.
And as I put, so I'd like to pick back on that. And measure it to my time, because I'm from Liberia and that's in West Africa. When I see today's young people compared to that, and I use my family as an example, but they do the job equally of taking care of the children.
In Liberia?
No, right,
Okay, yes.
all right? That wouldn't have happened when I was doing, but I see my nephew making sure, because the wife is a doctor, when she's gone, he stays there and make sure everything is done. If the child gets up, he's up, taking care.
Yeah, right.
Then I say, get up and do it. Okay, so that's a big difference with today's, this is what I see.
Fathers who are actually being fathers as
Yes.
opposed to
Just
just,
doing the same
just
task.
providers.
Yes, they're providing equally.
Which is better for the
Which
child
it
also,
is.
and the
It is.
parent.
Yes.
How many fathers that are fathers of my generation can say, we really didn't spend time with our kids.
Yes.
They were
So
too
I
busy.
see- I
So
see a
to
lot of
have that
effort to
balance
young people.
is healthier for everybody.
Yes.
One thing, I got married, I used to belong to the Italian club. And there was a bunch of girls and boys, and every Saturday we would go dancing, and we never thought of getting married. I got married when I didn't meet anybody then. I met after. I was 31 when I got married. And my husband was 34, and he knew how to cook, he knew how to do the laundry. I guess he was different than everybody else, I don't know. And there was no pressure. I don't know, this is what I remember. We were having fun, dancing every Saturday. We would go to Crest Haven. And this was in the mid-60s, something like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think now gender norms are being challenged.
Yeah.
Right? I think before if a man were to do that, they have to be like super confident, because I'm pretty sure they will be shamed for it, saying, oh, you're gonna
Impact.
yeah, like you're gonna do that for your wife, like you're gonna, like she's supposed to be doing that for you, right?
Right.
So I think now gender norms are just being challenged more often than usual, because we are starting to understand that first we have to respect each other's needs. That's one. Depending on whatever relationship, household, that's whatever they need, we have to learn how to respect it. And then second, I think we're trying to find more balance more than ever, because we're living in a world that is imbalanced most of the time. It's very chaotic. So we definitely need our partners to support us. But I think in society, like we're supported more in that.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to body positivity, like you could come as you are. Or like how Vera was saying, like, I love how I am. Like people love that. Like people, people are empowered, or they feel good when they just accept who they are. And I think that's what we should continue doing, is just also accepting our needs in spite of what we're being told.
Right.
So I think we could transition to that. Like, what are the things we should continue doing to support each other in spite of the generations? Because as we know, things are often being threatened. We're often still being conditioned to believe certain things. So what should we do to, that's my alarm. That means it's 2:00. Like, what are the things that we should continue? Like, I'm gonna continue like being confident or really staying, like, stick to what I want. In spite of like what I'm being told, in spite of like even, okay, I'm gonna show up to the
Well, to stay true to yourself, and yeah, that's why I don't concern myself with what think about the new, cause this is the new. How many people what pleases me, what make me feel good?
You only have one life.
That's it.
It shows, when somebody feels good, even if they're not,
I don't care about that, I just think.
but that shows and you look better because you were just going, I don't care. But how many kids, now they're talking about kids in elementary school who are on diets because they're
Yeah.
worried about being too fat or how they feel. I mean, that's bad.
My daughter's skinny.
Yeah.
And she asks me what's the calories on food, and I tell her, why are you concerned about calories?
She's fine. That's just her body.
I tell her just
Don't
eat.
call her skinny, call her slender.
Yes, slender, I'm sorry. She's slender.
Yeah.
I was told that.
But yeah, no, you're right though. But she concerns herself with looking at calorie labels. She asks me like, do I need to gain weight? And I'm like, no, you're fine. I have a high metabolism. Just eat, enjoy life,
Enjoy that. Yeah.
But it seems like all the things kids see on social media.
Macro tracking, all that is overwhelming.
Kids as young as 7
Yeah.
are looking at, body image and,
The monsters.
yeah, that is the times, unfortunately. So is there any way do you think that as within generations, we can support each other and just sort of make sure that, especially in these times, that we continue to move forward? As Kamala used to say, we're not going back. So how do we do that?
I think one of the main things for anyone to move forward is to always have an open mind and not to judge other people. I think that as a society, we tend to judge people based off of what we first see. And when you start to get to know people, you realize that that's not the same as their first impression.
Right on.
And so I think if we all continue as women, as society, as people to just be more caring and understanding and non-judgmental of people, I think everyone would be happier. I think it's all of those little things that make people feel less confident, make people feel bullied, make people feel like they can't be themselves, So I think if we continue on that trajectory, then, we have a better future for us and for our kids. And we got to continue to teach our kids to be that way with their friends and, teach them how to be social in the correct way.
Respect differences.
Yeah.
Respect differences.
Yeah, respect differences. Yeah, go ahead. It's Fran?
Yeah, I think women should continue to be mentors to younger women who are in leadership roles. I think it's still difficult for women in leadership roles, and I'm sure there's different expectations for them than for men.
Well, Hillary didn't smile enough. I'm gonna smile, but remember?
Right.
And all the candidates for president, Hillary didn't smile enough and Kamala smiled too much, so,
Then some women smile too much.
You're too skinny is a problem. You're too big is a problem.
She is right, and that's what she is, and she will not satisfy anybody because
understood, but it was still, people were still, that was not things that men were being told that,
No.
You're too much,
Don't
you're
forget-
too much.
And she wore hands. That's what she was.
Don't
And that's
forget
what
the Women's March this Saturday.
Well, it's.
We have their St. Patrick's too.
Women's March, no Kings.
No, Kings.
No King Street, but it's part of the Women's March.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, this Saturday.
It's one in the Bronx.
They're all,
we're just pointing that out there.
anybody else?
Women, right?
What should we continue doing?
Vote for
Do you
the
think
right
there's any,
people.
go ahead, I was gonna say, is there any way you think that older women could maybe support?
Or just make friends with different ages. Because, like, again, we don't choose when we're born, we're just dropped into the timeline or whatever's going on, So we're all really the same and you can learn a lot and relate. You just gotta make friends. Like, especially like I say that to my friends now, like everyone lives in like the bubble of the 5 years within when we're born and our friends, but there's a whole world out there and so many people to meet and so many conversations to be had. So just
What have you
talking to
learned by,
people.
by working here? About
So much, so much. And then I know nothing in a good way though. And just, I don't know, and seeing the way everyone interacts with each other and is able to like stick up for themselves and run their own domains. It's impressive.
So do you see a difference between the people here and the people that you spend time with outside, just
That's
just
a good-
wise and how,
Like, what do you mean?
I mean, just, is there a different way of being? Are there different things that you find that, young people worry about things that older people don't, or things that you find just differences?
I think young people are so self-conscious.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a whole layer of just like self-awareness that people my age have, that talking to people here, they do not. Everyone is themselves, they're proud of it, they know who they are, where I feel like my age, it's a lot of pretending or like what you're vying to be. So that's really cool too, because no one's putting on a front, everyone's just being themselves here. And I like that, and I wish more of the world saw that and operated.
That was a nice one.
Okay, so I think anybody else, anything else, any common threads you think we have with between generations?
I think resilience is a common thread. I think every
Yeah.
generation shows to be resilient and strong.
Use the microphone, yeah.
There you go.
I was just saying
We're
that,
not gonna take Gail's away from her.
y'all likes that little mic. I was just saying that resilience, I think, is the common thread. I think women are very resilient. And I think that we'll continue to be resilient and we're gonna be in a better position, I feel like, because we're becoming more independent, we're becoming more aware, as you were saying, of our powers within. And I think that that is the common thread, because even though you may not have been able to exercise your confidence, it was always there. And I think it's just teaching women to continue to show that side of them and not to resort to what
And raising our daughters, the young girls now.
Can I just,
And a matter of just making sure that the girls growing up now are told that they are just as important, equally important. It's not a matter of us being better than, we're at a point where we need to be equal and everybody has their strengths, and women might decide to be home and homemakers.
That's okay.
That's a lot of work, and it should be respected.
Yeah.
And, or some might go into jobs and vice versa for the men. And I think all of it, there's nothing that is a lesser job. And I think that's what we have to come out with, that it is not a lesser thing to do what's traditionally female or vice versa.
Yeah, but with politics, that's not happening right now. Let's be honest with the way we're being treated. And it's the economy too, like my son who's gonna be 40. He's like into crypto and I couldn't even begin to understand what crypto is.
what is it?
And it's a different form of
There's something coming up.
Exactly.
It's
Right
like,
about it.
it's and it's like, it's really disturbing to a point because I used to fight for the rights that we have now.
Yeah.
And my son, he doesn't understand that. And I'm like, you have to fight for your generation and the generations to follow.
Yeah.
We have fought already for all kinds of rights and privileges and everything to this point. Right now, I'm just worried about my trust, like somebody said, and what I'm gonna leave my grandchildren. But, like his generation, sorry. Maybe it's between you two. It's like, it's a whole different economical, it's crypto. And I don't understand that. I don't understand.
I mean, that's what they're being conditioned.
Yeah, I think
They're being conditioned to believe in Bitcoin.
It's like, but that's what's going on. That's what's dividing some, generations also.
So what's everybody
I
thinking
mean, we're
about?
all, laughing here, but it's
What's happening with some of the things that are coming up politically for women? I mean, they're talking about, voting, I worry, do I have to take my maiden name
Yeah,
back
exactly.
just to re-register to vote?
So we politically, not, just know who you're voting for.
Right.
Really study the person because.
But that's-
this happens.
So my belief is that because of social media and what's on the news, things are changing. But I think the more things change, the old school is fighting it. And I think that's what we're seeing right now is just the old, I mean, we've been doing this for millennia.
Yeah.
And to suddenly have things change and people coming out as who they are and women, wanting to no longer be, barefoot and pregnant and being able to speak up. And there's a big backlash on that, but I think that's it's gonna get worse before it gets better. But I think it will get better. I think it will get better, but there's gonna be a fight, Change is hard and, I think.
And as long as we stay together, because things like, as you could see, when we're together and when we are respecting each other's differences because we have a common goal, right? And it has to do with our dignity, our rights, right? And just human rights. When we're together, movement does happen. And I think that is what the older generation taught us, is that we could work with them too. Like we could listen to what they have to say because they did fight for a lot of the rights now.
Yeah.
So I tell this all the time to my friends. Like the first thing they always say, and I'm putting, if a friend is hearing me, you never know, it's on YouTube and they find me, is that they're like, oh, older people, they never change. They're fixing their ways. I'm like, you have no idea. That's so wrong.
It is.
Yes, I agree.
A lot of what they believe in is what we believe in.
That's so right.
I'm like, if you still have that mentality, then that means you're never going to get to know somebody.
True.
Like maybe that could be your experience, but we all have our flaws in our generation. But if you really think about it, a lot of the times as you can see, we believe in the same thing. We want the same thing. So we have to stick together and we can't and that's what our goal was with this panel, is that we listen to it with, and to each other instead of like, hey, like that generation sucks, Like I'm a millennial and I'm starting to say that with Gen Z. I'm like, oh my God, I'm the turning point. I'm like Gen Z and this iPad all the time.
Wait till you hit 35, that's when you start to feel.
And then I'm like, no. And then I correct myself and I'm like, no, I have to work with Gen Z because they're the future and I have as much input and I need them. I need them also for my future if I ever make it, God willing, when I'm older. Because we all need each other no matter what. So I think we should stick together no matter what. So
You just be positive.
yeah,
Each day
positive.
you wake up, be positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you wake up with a positive attitude, the whole day will be great. I know because I wake up with a positive attitude.
Yeah.
I don't wake up grouchy, even if I'm feeling sick, I'm not. I'm just not a
It's true.
grouchy person. So just be positive.
Manifest.
Everything will work out.
Manifest.
And manifest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you do it. That's how you manifest, is just sort of accept that what you need is what you're gonna get.
Right.
It's not necessarily what you think you want or need. It's what you need, and somehow or other it comes along.
That's the Rolling Stones, huh?
Be masters of reframing. I woke up today and it's a gloomy day, but I like the color gray.
There you
So,
go.
and then just-
And she's wearing it.
And that's how you change perspective.
Yeah, and a lot of it is
Yeah.
perspective, what you need.
Yeah, reframing.
So just change, it doesn't change what happens, just change. So, all right, so I think unless somebody else has anything else they want to bring up, I think we're good.
That should happen a lot.
Yeah, this was so.
That's right. Know
Yes.
what this comes to mind. I wonder if the men were jealous of the women at one point. No, I'm serious. We went to the Intrepid and we took a tour, and this was a man. And he told us that the floor was done by the women because they were faster than the men.
That's
And I was shocked when the men had.
Well, you know what else happened? In World War II, was it the Riveter, was it Rosie the Riveter? And women were told, we're in the factories and they said the women learned faster because, hello, we asked for directions. So they said that the women actually learned it and they accepted it and asked how to do it. They learned things really fast.
Not the pilot, did you hear of any woman pilots?
But they were.
They was thrown out.
Yeah, well,
We-
Because
we-
they
there were women pilots in World War II. They were also the ones bringing things back and forth. You know, the transport and bringing things back and forth. If they got shut down, they got, a telegram saying, we're sorry, whereas the men would actually knock on the door and say, we're sorry, your son has been lost, or somehow or other.
Yeah.
But that's changed, hopefully. Huh?
Let's see, we shall see.
Yep, heck, so it'll be interesting.
Stairs, we shall see our president here.
Yeah.
In these
It
United.
would be about time.
We have it in my country, so we can have it here.
Obviously, we're further back than you guys.
We're doing the cha-cha dance. We're going front and then we're going back.
Yeah.
And we're going side and then we're going this way. Until we finish the cha-cha dance.
You actually hokey pokey. That's
Yeah,
great.
then-
So, all right, so well, I'm gonna say thank you, Ted.
Thank you. Thank you guys for coming. That's a nice one.
I don't who I am.
Yeah.
Now.
exactly.
But I was shocked when the men, they keep their secret as a woman was faster than the men couldn't.
The powers.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's right.
She has it now.
I got to break. You always. I don't be motivated by kid. Like it. I mean,
Trace off.
I just go with that. All right. We shall have a panel. Yeah. Women and. Thank God. That's not. That's moderate. I don't know about that. Okay.
Without the toxins, that's not smart to, you could call it the time now. I go to the That's, and it's still the same. So, just cause it, what cause any week they were. After you're right, that's a big deal, but it's I'm like.